1958. It is a year of upheaval and change. Communism and civil rights are on everyone's mind as the face of America and the world are changing forever. During his State of the Union address, President Eisenhower warns of communist imperialism. In the USSR, Nikita Khrushchev becomes the Soviet premier, and in Cuba, Fidel Castro and his rebels launch their first attack on Havana. Nelson Rockefeller wins the New York State's governor's race, while George Wallace loses his bid for governor in Alabama. Dr. Martin Luther King is arrested for the first time for loitering in Alabama. He will nearly be stabbed to death later the same year. Explorer 1, America's first successful satellite launch, takes place, and the National Aeronautic and Space Administration Act is signed into law, creating NASA. 14-year-old Bobby Fischer wins his first United States chess championship, and the Dodgers leave Brooklyn for Los Angeles. There is a shift in rock and roll royalty as Jerry Lee Lewis goes to #1 with Great Balls of Fire, and Elvis Presley is inducted into the Army. Televangelist Rex Humbard opens his Cathedral of Tomorrow near Akron, Ohio, and Arnold Palmer wins his first Masters tournament. On television, The Donna Reed Show premieres. Rodgers and Hammerstein has 2 openings, Flower Drum Song on Broadway and South Pacific in movie theaters. Crayola crayons introduced their first 64 coloring box, and McDonald's sells its 1 millionth hamburger. And along a country road in Maryland, a church was born. The Catonsville Baptist Church and their pastor, Reverend B. Finley Bragg, felt led from God to begin a Baptist work in Howard County. On September 14, 1958, at Jets Roller Rink, a meeting was held. Approximately 35 people were there that first Sunday. During that meeting, it was decided that a work would be established and that it would be a chapel instead of a mission. The work was to formally begin the following Sunday at 2:30 in the afternoon. By October, a Sunday school was established. Reverend Bragg preached in those first days. Catonsville Baptist Church purchased 4.5 acres of property on Montgomery Road, and following many suggestions being submitted, a name was selected for the work: Bethel Baptist Church. Bethel meaning House of God. The first building was begun in 1960 and dedicated on October 2nd of that year. Exponential growth will continue over the next 2 years, seeing the church grow in numbers as well in ministry and in programming. In October 1961, the chapel on Montgomery began formal talks to be constituted as a church, and on October 22nd, 1961, Bethel Baptist Church became the 51st church of the Baltimore Baptist Association and the first Southern Baptist church established in Howard County. From this ambitious beginning, God has continued to bless His house of God on Montgomery Road. Many mountains and valleys would follow, but Bethel has always carried on.